Hello class! In our previous video, we learned the concept of conic section. And one of the types of conic section is the parabola. A parabola can be defined as the set of all points such that the distance from a point on the parabola to a focus point is the same as the distance from the same point on the parabola to a fixed line called directrix. So bago ko i-explain yung definition, punta muna tayo sa different parts ng ating parabola. So ang first part ng ating parabola is yung axis of symmetry. So this line is perpendicular doon sa ating directrix. Then the parabola is said to be symmetric with respect to this line. Okay? So, ang next part ng ating parabola is yung kanyang latus rectum and yung vertex. So, the vertex and the endpoints ng ating latus rectum are used in sketching the parabola. So, si latus rectum, binibigay niya kung gaano ka-wide yung ating parabola, while the vertex is the point where the curve changes direction. Now, as you can see from left to right, sa vertex, nag-change ng direction yung ating parabola from going downward to upward. So, going back dun sa definition ng ating parabola, sabi dyan ay, the parabola is defined as the set of all points such that the distance from a point on the parabola, let's say ito yung point ng ating parabola, yung P of x, y, to a focus point. So, ito yung ating focus. So, ito yung distance na binabanggit dyan. Is the same as the distance from the same point going to the directrix. So, same yung distance ng point natin from the focus and the directrix. So, ito yon. Okay, so meaning, kahit saan point tayo kumuha, let's say dito sa may point sa bandang taas, pag chinek natin yung distance niyan from the focus going to the directrix, the same lang din. Okay, so kahit dito tayo kumuha, yung distance niyan, papunta dun sa ating directrix, same lang din. Okay, so kung makukuha natin lahat ng point na yan, then pag pinagdugtong-dugtong natin, makakabuo tayo ng parabola. So next is the equation of parabola in standard form. So, vertex at the origin, 0, 0. So, ang tatalakayin lang natin muna this time is yung vertex natin is makikita sa origin ng ating Cartesian plane. Okay? So, the first equation ng ating parabola in standard form is y square equals 4px. So, dito guys, pag ganito yung ating equation, may dalawang possible parabola ang pwedeng mabuo natin. Isang opens to the right at isang opens to the left. So, paano ba natin malalaman kung opens to the right yung ating parabola or to the left? So, makikita niyo yan doon sa value ng ating p. If p is positive or greater than 0, so therefore, ang opening ng ating parabola is to the right. Okay? Then if p is less than 0 or negative, yung parabola natin is going to the left or opens to the left. Okay? So next equation natin is yung x squared equals 4py. So dito naman, kung mapapansin nyo, may dalawang klaseng parabola ang nabuo. Isang opens downward, isa namang opens upward. Okay? So, if the value of p doon sa ating equation is greater than 0, ibig sabihin yung ating parabola is opens upward. Then, if p is less than 0, the parabola opens downward. Okay? So, dito guys, kung mapansin nyo, may 4 tayong possible graph ng ating parabola. So, lagi nyo lang tatandaan, the parabola always bends towards the focus. Okay? Kung nasaan yung ating focus, doon papunta yung graph ng ating parabola. Okay? Kung ang focus natin is nasa left side ng vertex, yung graph natin is open to the left. Okay? Kung yung focus natin is nasa upper part ng ating vertex, yung parabola natin is opens upward. Okay? Then if the parabola or the focus is nasa may baba ng ating vertex, the parabola opens downward. So next, let's have the summary ng ating mga graph kanina. So kung natandaan nyo, may dalawa tayong standard form. So kung pagka yung y ang may square guys, kagaya nitong nasa may unang part natin, yung focus natin dyan is equal to P0. Okay? Then if P is less than 0, our parabola opens to the left. Then kung yung P naman is greater than 0 or positive, the parabola opens to the right. Okay? Then next is the latus rectum naman. So again, si latus rectum, siya yung magsasabi kung gaano ka-wide or kabuka yung ating parabola. So ang equation natin dyan is pwedeng x equals, it's either positive or negative P. Then ang direction natin is vertical. Then, ang length ng ating latus rectum is 4 times P. Then, yung kanyang endpoints naman is we have P, plus minus 2P. Okay? Then si axis of symmetry naman is makikita kay y equals k. But since nasa vertex naman tayo, so laging 0 yung ating k. Okay? Then next is the directrix. Ang directrix naman natin is may equation na x equals negative p. Okay? So, next is, what if naman kung yung x ang merong square? So, ang focus naman is makikita kay 0, p. So, kung mapansin nyo, yung p natin na nasa x kanina, napunta na ngayon doon sa y-ordinate. Okay? Yun yung kanilang unang difference. Then, if P is less than 0, the parabola opens downward. Then, if P is greater than 0, the parabola opens upward. Okay? So, next is the latus rectum. We have the equation of y equals positive or negative P. Then, the direction is horizontal. So, ang length ng ating latus rectum is the same lang, which is 4P. Then, yung endpoints niya is we have positive, negative 2P, P. Okay? So, nagkapalit yung position ng ating X and Y. So, the axis of symmetry naman is makikita kay X equals H. But then again, yung ating vertex is nasa origin, so lagi siyang equal to 0. Okay? Then, for the directrix, we have the equation Y equals negative P. Okay? So, let's have example. So, determine the direction in which the curve opens. Then, find the coordinates of the focus, the endpoints of the latus rectum, and the equation of the directrix. Then, graph the equation. So, letter A, we have y squared equals 16x. So, una yung gagawin guys is i-identify nyo muna anong formula ba yung gagamitin nyo. So, as you notice, yung ating square is nandun kay y. So, nakapattern yung ating equation kay y squared equals 4px. Okay? So, meaning yung ating parabola, it's either opens to the left or to the right. So, next is, pwede na nating masolve si p. Then, kung mapapansin nyo, yung 4px natin, yung 4p, it corresponds dun sa ating 16. So, pwede natin yung i-equate. So, we have 4p equals 16. Then, solving 4p, so just divide both sides of the equation by 4. So, ang p natin ngayon is equal to 4. Okay? So, since the value of P is greater than 0, meaning ang opening ng ating parabola is opens to the right. Okay? So, next is, since may value na tayo ng P, pwede na nating makuha si focus. So, si focus natin is makikita kay P, 0, which is equivalent to 4, 0. Okay? So, ang next naman natin kukunin is yung kanyang latus rectum. So, si latus rectum is may endpoints na P, plus minus 2P. Okay, where P is equal to 4. So, try nating i-substitute yan. So, ang endpoints ng ating latus rectum ay magiging 4, positive 2 times 4, that is 8. And we have 4, negative 2 times 4, we have negative 8. So next, kunin naman natin yung ating axis of symmetry. Si axis of symmetry is may equation na y equals k. But yun nga lang, yung vertex natin ngayon is laging makikita muna kay origin. So yung k natin is always equivalent to 0. So that means we have y equals 0. Next is the directrix. So si directrix ay may equation na x equals negative p. So since p is equal to 4, so therefore x is equal to negative 4 yung equation ng ating directrix. Okay? So next, since nakuha natin yung mga parts ng ating parabola, so pwede na nating i-graph sa ating Cartesian plane. So ang una yung ipa-plot is syempre yung ating vertex na makikita sa ating origin. Nakuha ba guys? So after natin ma-plot si vertex, ang next yung ipa-plot is yung ating focus. So si focus is makikita kay 4, 0. So nandito siya sa right side ng ating vertex. Then, alam naman natin, yung opening ng ating parabola is opens to the right. Okay? So, next is, alamin naman natin kung gaano ba ka-wide yung ating parabola. So, ang gagamitin nyo doon is yung ating endpoints ng latus rectum. So, we have two endpoints. Yung unang endpoint is 4, 8. So, makikita yan dito sa may bandang quadrant 1, 4, 8. Ito yung ating unang endpoint ng latus rectum. Then yung pangalawa naman is 4, negative 8. Nasa may bandang baba ng ating focus. Okay, so si latus rectum is siya yung magsasabi kung gaano kabuka yung ating parabola. So next is the axis of symmetry. Si axis of symmetry is makikita kay y equal to 0. So siya yung ating horizontal line na dadaan dito sa ating vertex. Axis of symmetry. Then si directrix naman is may equation na x equals negative 4. So nandito yan sa may left side ng ating Cartesian plane. So ito yung ating magiging directrix. Okay? So, pwede na nating i-plot yung ating, or i-sketch yung ating parabola. So, lagi nyo tatandaan, si parabola always bends towards to our focus. So, since nasa right si focus, dun pupunta yung ating parabola. Okay? So, i-sketch nyo lang yan. Then, make sure na dadaan tayo dun sa ating latus rectum. So, ito na ngayon yung ating graph ng ating parabola. Nakuha ba guys? So next, let's have example number 2. So B is equal, or B, we have x squared minus 8y equals 0. So una, i-rewrite muna natin yung ating equation to standard form. So that is x squared equals positive 8y. Okay, so nilipat lang natin yung ating negative 8y from left side to right side. So next is, kung mapapansin nyo, yung ating equation is nakapatterned naman kay x squared equals 4py. So it means na yung ating parabola is it's either opens downward or upward. Okay? So next, solve natin si p by using 4p equals 8. Then divide both side by 4. So ang p natin is equal to 2. Okay? So since si p is greater than 0, so ang opening ng ating parabola is opens upward. Okay? So next, pwede na nating makuha si focus. So ang formula ng ating focus is 0p. Where p is equal to 2. So ang focus natin is makikita kay 0, 2. Okay, so next is the latus rectum or LR na lang. So ang latus rectum natin is makikita kay positive negative 2p then p. So ang p natin is 2, so substitute lang natin yan. So we have 2 times p, which is 2 times 2, that is 4, comma p, which is 2, and negative 2 times 2, we have negative 4, then p, 2. Okay? Next is the axis of symmetry or the AS. So, si axis of symmetry natin is makikita kay x equals h. But again, yung vertex natin is nasa origin. So, automatic yan, x equals 0. Okay? Then, last one is the directrix. So, ang directrix natin is may equation na y equals negative p. So, this is y equals negative 2. Okay, so na-identify na natin yung parts ng ating parabola. So, pwede na nating i-sketch yan sa ating Cartesian plane. So, una, i-plot muna natin si vertex na nasa origin. So, next is yung ating focus, which is makikita kay 0, 2. So, nasa may bandang taas yan ng ating vertex. Okay? Next is yung ating dalawang endpoints ng latus rectum. We have 4, 2. So, dito yung ating first endpoint. Then, yung second endpoint is negative 4, 2. So, ito yan. Okay? Next is the axis of symmetry, which is x equals 0. So, that means ang ating axis of symmetry is yung ating horizontal line na dadaan sa ating vertex. Then, si directrix naman is makikita kay y equals negative 2. So, nandito yan. Ito yung ating magiging directrix. Okay? So, pwede na nating i-sketch yung ating parabola. So, again, kung nasaan ang focus, dun papunta yung ating parabola. Then, make sure na dadaan yung line natin doon sa ating latus rectum. Ayan. So, ito na yung graph ng ating equation na x squared minus 8y. So, next, let's have example letter C. Y squared plus 10x equals 0. So, i-rewrite muna natin to standard form. That is y squared equals negative 10x. Okay, so ang form natin dito is we have y squared equals 4p then x. Okay, then to solve for p, equate lang natin si 4p to negative 10. Then divide both side by 4. So ang p natin dito is we have negative 5 over 2. Okay, so since ang p natin is less than 0, since negative yung value ng ating p, so ang opening ng ating parabola is opens to the left. Okay? So next is yung kanyang focus. So ang focus natin is makikita kay P0, which is equivalent to negative 5 over 2, 0. Okay? So next is the latus rectum or the LR. So ang formula ng LR natin is we have P plus minus 2P. So ang P natin dito is negative 5 over 2. So fraction. Okay, so try nating i-substitute yan. So ang endpoints ng ating latus rectum is we have negative 5 over 2. Then positive 2 times negative 5 over 2. So, pakita ko muna yung paano i-solve yan. And, yung pangalawa natin, we have P, which is negative 5 over 2. Then, 2, or negative 2 times negative 5 over 2. So, simplify natin yung ating latus rectum. So, we have negative 5 over 2, comma. So, dito makakancel yung ating 2. So, that is negative 5. Okay? And, negative 5 over 2, comma. So, again, makakancel yung ating 2. So, negative times negative 5, that is positive 5. So, yan na yung ating magiging endpoints ng ating latus rectum. Next is the axis of symmetry or the AS. So, si axis of symmetry natin is may equation na y equals k. So, that is y equals 0. Since, again, nasa origin yung ating vertex. Okay, so last one is yung ating directrix. So, si directrix naman is may equation na x equals negative p. So, that is x equals negative times negative 5 over 2. So, ang directrix natin this time is 5 over 2. Okay, so after natin ma-identify yung ating parts ng ating parabola, so pwede na natin yan i-graph. Okay, so una is again, plot muna natin yung ating vertex na makikita sa origin, followed by the focus, which is negative 5 over 2, 0. So, kung nahihirapan kayong mag-plot ng ating fraction, pwede nyo yan guys i-convert to decimal. Okay, so dito, kung i-convert natin si negative 5 over 2 to decimal, that is equivalent to negative 2.5. So, makikita nyo yan guys sa left side ng ating vertex. So, nandito yung negative 2.5 natin. Between negative 2 and negative 3. Alright, so next is, pwede na nating i-plot yung ating latus rectum. We have negative 5 over 2 or negative 2.5, comma negative 5. So, nandito yan sa may bandang baba ng ating focus. Then, yung negative 2.5, comma 5 nasa may taas ng ating focus. Okay? So, next is yung ating axis of symmetry na makikita kay y equals 0. So, that is horizontal line na dadaan doon sa ating vertex. So, yan yung parang pinaka-mirror ng ating parabola. Then last is yung ating directrix na we have x equals 5 over 2 or 2.5. So yung 2.5 is makikita between 2 and 3. So nandito yung ating directrix. Ito yung directrix, then ito yung ating axis of symmetry. So again, after natin magawa yan, pwede na nating i-plot yung ating or i-sketch yung ating parabola. So, dadaan ulit tayo doon sa ating latus rectum. Then, so makikita na natin yung ating parabola na opens to the left. Nakuha ba guys? So, this is the end of our video. I hope may natutunan kayo. So, if you have questions or clarifications, kindly put them in the comment section below. So, thank you guys for watching. This is Prof D. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!